Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Dawn Melanie, and welcome to another episode of Managing Self, an internet-based radio format that's allowed me to invite you into my world, how I manage myself dealing with multiple sclerosis for the past 20 years and counting. Yes, it often seems like I'm being pulled in a new direction, thus the song. Although we oftentimes equate successful management with our accomplishments that we achieve, I know that I do oftentimes. I just want to point out that today I'm going to show both sides of that coin, both sides of the managing myself with multiple sclerosis. Today I want to share with you my successes regarding my dealing with, handling, maneuvering, and even taking responsibility for my acts, all in the hopes of having a healthy life. That means me staying mobile, me being energetic, lively, surviving. No, actually I want to say thriving. That's my goal, to be thriving with multiple sclerosis. Living with I'd say the ever so unwelcome yet ubiquitous MS monster. Every day I use a few tools. Tools I keep in my armor bag to help deal with multiple sclerosis as far as life. Those tools are all pretty much F words, not the derogatory words or the obscene words, but positive words. Words to encourage myself and also hopefully encourage others dealing with whatever he or she is going through. Those tools are faith, number one, fitness. Often try to incorporate, or shall I say, engage in a fit lifestyle as far as being physically active as much as I can be. You know, Texas heat, can't be in the sun too long without risking an exacerbation, but I like to keep it moving as much as I can. And also have fun. Some people just forget to have fun. We get so caught up in taking our medicines or, whatever doctor's appointments we have, whatever routines or procedures that we have. All that stuff can be tiring, but it's important to always have fun. And so that may just be meeting a friend for a cup of coffee, or maybe just relaxing, having a sit in the park, or maybe going to the mall and just sit and people watch. That can be fun. It doesn't have to be at the club. If you need to be at the club, so be it. I stay away from clubs because people are moving too quickly and the music is loud, and, well, I don't know. I like things a little bit slower. Anyway, let's see. Fitness, faith, fun. Hopefully these can be all enjoyed with our friends and family. I know I try to enjoy my friends and family as much as I can. Oftentimes with my mom and dad and my husband, but I always tell my friends, hey, I'm just a call away. My schedule's pretty flexible. So I encourage you all out there listening to do just that. Don't get so caught up into your everyday routine and forget to relax and have fun. Take a step back, breathe. Like I said, all these F tools are pretty much anchored in my faith. That's number one. Now, earlier today, let's see, all the F words, F words. So this one's gonna be friend right now. Earlier today, a longtime friend gave me a call, and he gave me an important reminder. He said, never act your age, old D, never act your age. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, all right, Joe, that's pretty easy for you, considering you're a whole 3 years younger than I am. Making me closer to 50. He's closer to 40. So I was like, yeah, sure, right. Never act my age. But as we chatted, I realized that he was practicing what he preached. He had recently quit his job. Well, he retired. He retired after 24, 25 years of working on the same job. And he is now fully dedicated to his once hobby. That is now his main income stream, personal training. Personal training and competition prep coaching. So he's doing that, and he's married a beautiful, fit, 40-year-old woman, a 40-something-year-old woman. So, it's like they're contemporary. So he's not with a 19 or 20-year-old, but he's with, somebody who shares the interest that he does as well. So, congratulated him, and he seems like he's doing well. And, it's kind of like, wow, married. A total lifestyle change. I hadn't realized that had occurred. I mean, I guess we hadn't talked in a while, but at the end of the day, he was the same Joey that I know, and I'm still the same little D. Both doing okay, enjoying what we love. That pretty much entails the fitness industry. We both enjoy pushing ourselves to new heights of achievement, that is physical achievements, and not only that, but as we are getting older, over 40, both of us we still enjoy the encouragement that we can give to others to do the same thing, that is, push themselves to rise to new levels of achievements as far as their physical health and things like that. So my efforts, I guess, are more seemingly altruistic in nature. His more monetarily driven, as his is paying for his new house that he just bought in the suburbs of Chicago. Now, some may classify success as based on quantitative gains, usually of a monetary nature, but, well, most of us do, let's be honest. But as I grow older and hopefully wiser, I realize that any gains that one achieves or accomplishes, if they're stagnant, one-time occurrence or things like that, I find it hard to deem it as any such situation or person or, I don't know, anything as a success if it's like a one-time deal. And I say this because the only constant in life is change. Only constant in life is change. Ben Franklin, he said it best. He said, without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. So as we're talking about, competition preps, I congratulate him with his clients. They're doing very well, even all the way up to the Olympic stage. Pardon me. That's his successes, and I recognize that. It's ironic because, he complimented or recognized my successes as far as with my health, with my struggles, with my, he like I said, we've been friends for 15 years. Yeah, 15 years now, and he knows about my MS, my challenges that I've had during competitions, off competition, or shall I say, off season, as we consider competing off season, and we're talking about competition prep and being healthy and all that kind of stuff, and we're talking about food. It's so funny how food is oftentimes like people say music is a universal language. Universal language people say is music oftentimes, but sometimes I think food is like the universal language because we all have to eat. We don't have to listen to music, but we all have to eat at some time. And it seems like food just brings me together with my friends and family, usually having a good time eating a lot. But we're talking about food and how preparing diets or diet plans for his clients. We're just talking about food, and I'm like, yeah, food is like a pretty powerful thing. We talk about drugs and supplements like that, and I told myself, my last show that I did, last time I competed, which was 2012. Yeah, I think I quote unquote dialed in best shape of my life on stage, and I did it with the most powerful drug that I consider on the planet, and that is with just food. Just no supplements, no protein powders, none of that stuff, just food. I had just whole food. So that I think is pretty important, because in my situation, as I'm talking to him, I was like, food is very important. And we agree. It's not about so much about what calories you're consuming or how much fat you're eating, or not even about portion control, but it's more of awareness, And for me, I know that it's self-awareness. And when I say self-awareness, I mean of what I eat, how it makes me feel, and how it does make me feel. Hopefully eating makes me feel good. It does make me feel slow and lethargic and just kind of sluggish. But, I need to be aware of that, because those kind of foods that I want to eat more of. And if I don't feel good, if I have my stomach's making weird noises, or I don't know, I just need to stop, I know that. So those are foods that I should shun away from. Now, I'm not a physician. I'm not a dietitian. But I am a certified fitness trainer. And I have had firsthand experience manipulating my own diet during the 10 years of bodybuilding competitions that I did. Having multiple sclerosis the entire time that I competed. And overall, my MS symptoms, well, I managed them. I managed them with the low fat, high protein, moderate carbohydrate diet. Little, if any, processed foods, things like that. No fast foods. If ever, I probably just had a salad or something like that. Just get, I don't know, probably not supplemented, but maybe a side salad, because I need something green to go with my chicken. I don't know. But anyway, initially, when I first started training with my trainer, I remember initially griped about elimination of certain foods. I was like, food is my friend. Why do I have to eliminate them? But over the years, actually including the past 7 years, since my last competition, so I don't want to say my competition career ended, but has taken a hiatus. Never say never. I'm not done yet. Anyway, over the past 7 years, pretty much, I have noted that I feel more energetic. I feel less fatigued. I feel more focused and not so ambivalent about doing things. The closer that I'm eating, or should I say, the closer my eating regimen mirrors my competition diet, or should I say regimen, I feel better. And I'm sure this is no surprise to any of you out there listening, but a lot of symptoms, or shall I say, the symptoms of many illnesses, including multiple sclerosis, can be changed. Can be changed by altering your diet. Like I said, just a couple of tweaks, figure out what works for you. My best friend, she's gluten intolerant. You hear a lot of negative things about gluten. Eliminate gluten out of your diet and you'll feel better. I have many friends who have, and they do feel better. I tried it a few days with my husband, and I felt fine, but everybody's different. So I think I have a more tolerable rate of gluten than some people. So again, it's kind of like learn your body, pay attention, manage yourself, and you'll be amazed at how you can kind of direct, or should I say, influence your body and put yourself on a road to health, as opposed to going down a road of I don't say pain, but negative feelings. You can check out any of the the Walls diet, keto, all the diets out there. Like I said, find what works for you. I'm never eliminate everything or eliminate all types of food from my diet. I'm more of a partaking in moderate amounts of everything. I don't like to say no to food. Now, if you're thinking, but which foods should you eat, which foods you shouldn't, I say, first, which foods make you not just look good, but more importantly, which foods make you feel good. That is my number one goal. How I feel, my health. I bet many of you listening are still doubting, I don't know if I'll make the best choice of picking this food to eat as opposed to eating that food. But, to that I say, that's me giving you a kiss. Can't you tell? That's me giving you a nice juicy kiss. Well, I'm blowing you a kiss, actually. Pardon me. I'm blowing you a kiss. Reminding you to keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, Sally or Sam. Go with your gut feeling. Now I say gut because they don't call it gut, or should I say, they don't call it a gut feeling for nothing. Our guts are an important part of our digestive system, and we all need to listen to our gut, listen to our literal gut. There's no doubt that there's a connection between the foods that we consume and oftentimes unwanted symptoms that we encounter from illnesses and things like that. It's just a fact, Some people, I remember this from, high school, garbage in, garbage out. GIGO. I think it's the same thing with food, pretty much. Consumption of, what we eat. Say you are what you eat, but if you eat a bunch of crap or bad food, things like that, it's gonna come out like a bunch of crap. Garbage in, garbage out. But one of the more important things to notice is that, when we eat food, when we digest the food, hopefully, if our bodies are processing things correctly and efficiently, we're going to consume those life-giving nutrients and just yield waste. More, I want to say pure waste, but, hopefully our guts are enabled to break down the food properly. And we take all the good stuff from it, the nutrients, and expel the garbage. This whole digestion process, I think, is similar to my managing my multiple sclerosis. Hopefully, there's various external forces or environmental factors out there that I'm going to encounter, that we all encounter from day to day. But even though we come across those, hopefully we are able to take in what's useful to us, whether it be mentally, physically, physically with food and, exercise, things like that. But take those things in, mentally, harsh words, negative talk. I don't like taking that stuff in. I stay away from it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to participate in any such dialogue. And, we take that in, but if we are around, hopefully we can brush it off or get it out of our system. We don't want to hold on to that sort of thing, because usually things like that are often correlated to stressful situations, and we all know what happens when we get stressed. Negative stuff results in flare-ups. Flare-ups equal tough times for an MSer. So that's one thing my success, I do want to quantify those. I do want to measure those. And my struggles, well, we all got those. But my successes, I hold them dear to my heart. So whether it be me eating correctly, me getting a regular routine, physical activity routine in each week, those are all important aspects for me as far as managing my multiple sclerosis. I feel better, and that's bottom line. So like I said, I want to measure those things and make sure that I stay on top of it every day, not just one day, not just this week, but every day. And if something doesn't feel right, I go with my gut. It's like food. If I'm thinking it's not good food, I'm not going to eat it. If I think it's not a good situation to be around, I'm not going to be there. I encourage everybody to think, put yourself first. It's okay. But, with dealing with a chronic illness, I know it's difficult sometimes, but one thing we have to do is be our own self-advocate, knowing that, if you're tired, maybe you can't go out to the event. I don't know, might be a spouse's company function or something. Maybe you're just tired. It's okay. That's one thing about managing self is the power word. Use it. No. Practice it. No. It's good to say no sometimes, because it'll make life easier for you to only participate in things that you want to, or shall I say, just like I said, ingesting or taking in positive, good things. Take those in, but try not to take in, or if you do take in negative things, get rid of them quickly. So, as I close this week's episode of Managing Self, I want to propose a challenge to all the listeners out there today. This challenge was, I'd say, inspired by our former president, Franklin Roosevelt, and his wife, Eleanor Roosevelt. He said, Franklin Roosevelt said, happiness is the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. Let me repeat that. Happiness is the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. His wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, former First Lady, she said happiness is not a goal, it's a byproduct of a life well lived. Happiness is not a goal, but a byproduct of a life well lived. I say that I thought of, in terms of challenges, it was based upon those two quotes there by former First Lady and former First President. And it also correlates with Franklin Roosevelt's quote. You may have heard this one. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. See, the quote he said about, happiness is the joy of achievement and thrill of creative effort. Creative effort. People say, well, why are you going to tie a knot at the end of the rope? Well, that means if you're hanging on, you're hanging on for dear life. Well, go ahead and tie a knot in the rope. And that way you can hang there. You'll give you some more time to endure whatever it is that you're going through. Hopefully overcome that. That's creative effort. It's thinking outside the box, but you're not giving up. And that's kind of where he's going there. Now, let's say you hang on and you do well with that. That's good, and you'll probably be happy. See, it's not about giving up. And that's what I don't want anybody out there to ever give up, especially with dealing with their multiple sclerosis or any other illness or situation that they have that may be challenging to them. If you're at the end of your rope, hold on. I say be your own self-advocate oftentimes, but be aware of what you're dealing with and help yourself. Tie the knot at the end of the rope if you need to, but help yourself. Just don't hang there until you fall, hands get weary. Now, to this day, I don't know how to tie a knot, but I get the metaphor, what this stands for, and I do believe it. A lot of things in life take an effort, and we'll get to the end of our rope, and instead of letting go, we hold on, or maybe tie a knot. It's a decision that we do. Nothing in life has a finite value, and at some point, it's just not worth it. Sometimes we do have to let it go, but if it comes to that point, sure, but don't do it prematurely. Hopefully, if anything's worth value or anything worth having is worth fighting for. So typically, the harder you have to work for something, the more value that you're going to place upon it, and maybe the tighter you'll hold on to that rope. That is metaphorically speaking. But with all of my successes, with all of my struggles, dealing with multiple sclerosis for the past 20 years, it hasn't been easy. But every choice that I made was a choice that I made. And my tenacity has grown to keep pushing forward. Tenacity is a skill. It's a skill. Tenacity is a habit. You have to practice it to get better at it. It improves each time that I decide, okay, I'm not settling for this. I'm not going to settle for less than achieving my goal. That's how I increase my tenacity as far as holding on to that rope. I always encourage people to, start small. You're not going to just tackle the biggest task there is, but start small, maybe chunks or things like that, and over time, increase or enlarge your capacity to hold on. But never, never, ever, ever, don't just let go. So the challenge: write down a couple of items in your life where you've had a tendency to let go of the rope. Simply let go of it. Also, think of a few items where you've held on to that rope, even when it was really tough. For this week and going forward, I encourage you all to try to find ways, thoughts, feelings, methods, or anything else which you can use to help encourage your grip to hold on to that rope and discourage any thoughts of letting it go. For multiple sclerosis management, for self-management, just for your general well-being. This has been Dawn Melanie. I thank you for joining me this week, and I do hope you'll join me next week for another episode of Managing Self.